we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
Hello my friends, and welcome to day one of my page count reading challenge. I mentioned last week that this was going to be coming, and this week I am doing a page count reading challenge over on Patreon. We do one each month. We set a page count goal and try to hit it is the basic, but no one has to set a page count goal. Some people are like, I'm reading these 3 books and I want to finish them by the end of the week. Sometimes the page count goal reading challenge, which is just a loose personal reading challenge, honestly, it's just a weekend. Usually I do it a week. This time we are going from this morning, Thursday morning, until Wednesday at the end of the day, and I have set a goal to try to read 1,200 pages. Sometimes I hit my goals and sometimes I don't, and sometimes my goals are lower and very rarely are they actually higher. I'm currently in the middle of a bunch of books, but we have a snowfall warning for today. It's barely snowing right now, so I'm curious to see how this goes. But I thought, what a great day to start a page count reading challenge when it's supposed to snow a lot. Hopefully it doesn't snow too much right at the beginning here. I have to take one of my kids to a doctor's appointment, so after that it can kind of snow all at once. But I want to share what I'm currently reading. These are, just to give you an idea, these are the physical books that I'm kind of in the middle of, and I want to make some good progress. So I want to hit 1,200 pages, like I said. Usually when I have a page count reading challenge week where I'm like really focusing on reading a ton, then the next few days after that I don't really read anything because I just need a little bit of recovery time. Here's what I'm currently reading. Number 1, Anna Karenina. I will not finish this during this week. My aim is like 10 to 15 pages a day. Originally I was doing 10 pages, but then I realized if I keep up with that, then it will take me 3 months to read it, and I'd rather read it in 2 months. So my goal is to get to page like 475 by the end of March. And I'm on 170 right now, and today's the 13th, so I need to up my game a little bit. So working on Anna Karenina, I am sharing my thoughts over in Fable kind of as I go. I will leave the book club linked below if you want to just follow along. You can read it along with me. You can just see what my thoughts are. But yes, this is my like first book of the day. After I've read my Bible and stuff, this is the first book I read. What else do I have? Okay, let's do this. I've got Church History in Plain Language. I started reading this quite a while ago and then put it off for almost a year, and then a couple weeks ago, a week or so ago, I picked it up again, and I am just about to start part 4, The Christian Middle Ages, which is 590 to 1517. This I'm just trying to read. I don't know. I would love to read a chapter every evening, but the truth is I get tired, so a few pages to like half a chapter to a whole chapter each evening is my goal. Once again, won't finish this during this week. I am reading a book on the Kindle. I've got The Shadow Heir out from Kindle Unlimited right now. This is book 2 in the Secrets of the Fae duology. I'm not very far. How far am I? I want to say like 10%. Oh, 20% farther than I thought. This has mostly been my like middle of the night read for the last little while. I haven't spent a ton of time reading it. It's not a major focus. For nonfiction, I'm currently reading Evidence Not Seen. This is a true story of a woman that was in a Japanese prison camp in the Dutch East Indies. I'm currently just over 100 pages, reading snippets of this every few days. 2 books that I have to read this month that are a little bit more of a focus. I've got Prophet by Frank Peretti. This was my Kindred Spirit of the Month pick for me, so I'm kind of focusing on this a bit. I'm on page 95, so I'm doing a buddy read with my Kindred Spirit for the month, and we're talking about it as we go. The not last book, nope. I'm also reading, what is this one called? Magnify, in the Storm Inspire series. I am going to be hopping on with Charlene. She is doing a book club and a live for this near the end of the month. I'll leave that information linked below in the description. So I'm on page 34. I was reading it last night before bed and started falling asleep. So not very far, but I do also have this on Kindle, which I might switch over and use this when I go to the doctor's office later. It's just easier to bring a device than to bring a physical book. And then the last one, I am going to be starting The Mythmakers. This is The Remarkable Fellowship of C.S. Lewis and J.R.R. Tolkien by John Hendricks. I took the dust jacket off because I don't want to read it with it. Love this. It's like a gravestone. It says Joy, CSL, and JRR. And this is like partially graphic novel, partially written, the text. So it does, I think it will read quickly because it has some graphic novel pages, but the pages that are mostly text, it's a very small font. But it alternates. So I don't want to read this too quickly. Maybe over the course of the week would be great. If I were to finish all these books, I have no idea how many pages that would be, or even if I were to finish the ones that I kind of want to. I don't know how many pages that would be, but I'm just going to spend as much time reading as I can throughout the days. We'll be doing homeschool stuff in the morning and then trying to read for part of the afternoon at least, and maybe sometimes in the evenings. So yeah, my first book for the day will be Anna Karenina, and then I will take a book to the doctor's office. I'll be checking in throughout the week, and we'll see how many pages I can get read.
Just where it was needed, gleaming black as night, cloistered in injustice, dead in the eye of time. Nobody is losing, faces merchant change.
Okay, so yesterday I generally read pretty much till I start falling asleep, and then I calculate the pages in the morning. So yesterday I read from Anna Karenina, I read from Storm Inspire, partially from the physical book, but I mostly read from the ebook, and I started Mythmakers. I think those are the 3 books I read yesterday. I calculated my pages this morning, and my goal was 200 pages, and I didn't do any calculating as I went through the day, but as I calculated it this morning, I was like, I hit 200 pages exactly. So that's where I was for the first day. 200 pages, pretty good for, a day with life in it. This morning I have already read some Anna Karenina. I could be done for the day. I read up to chapter 20 in part 2, and I think I'm gonna read another few chapters though. The chapters are only a couple pages long usually. Yeah, I think I want to read a little bit more, like 10-ish more pages, just to feel good about where I'm at in here. And then I actually finished Magnify this morning. This one bothers me because the title of the series is so big that I always think this is the title, but it's book 1 in the Storm and Spire series. So Charlene from Coffee and a Book is hosting a live chat where I will be co-hosting with her talking about this book, and I will share my thoughts as I wrap up books and tack that on to the end of this video just to keep it kind of consistent with what I have been doing with my recent reads being the last portion of the video. So yeah, it was like most fantasy books. For the first, 30 to 50 pages, it's like, okay, what's going on? But you have to learn the world and the characters and the creatures and like so many different things in a fantasy book. And once I got going, it was quick. The only thing is though, the cover, there really is no water in the entire book. They're in a desert. So this confuses me. They mention an ocean one time, but that's it. And I don't think it was that big of a thing. So I'm a little confused by the cover. This is a 5-book series, and now I need to know how it continues. So I don't know when I'll continue it, but more thoughts on this book as a whole at the end of this video. And then, like I said, I did start The Mythmakers, and this is C.S. Lewis and Tolkien, or it's going to be. I'm only on page 22. Like, I've only read this much out of... How many pages are in here, actually? So many of the pages don't have page numbers, just because there's so many pictures, but it's about 200 pages, I'd say. It was interesting because there are... like, it's kind of like choose your own adventure in a way. There was one part, this was page 19, where you could go through a portal and you could see the roots of myth. So you could turn to page 188 to learn more about the idea of myths, or you could just keep reading. But I totally portaled over and read a couple pages there and then came back to the real world. I don't really know, the real story. So that was kind of fun, unexpected, fun time. I just love this cover. I mean, the illustrated cover is gorgeous as well, but like, this is fabulous, so pretty. I own his book, The Faithful Spy, but I own it in paperback. And I'm curious if there is a hardcover edition. Is it like this pretty? Do I need another copy? The only thing this is missing is a bookmark. I feel like with a high-end hardcover like this, it also should have a bookmark. So not very far into this yet, but enjoying the layout. My focus for the day will be, like I said, to read about 10 more pages of Anna Karenina. And then I think I'm moving on to Prophet by Frank Peretti. Or I might pick up a middle grade book just to blast through a book for a bit. Maybe I'll do a little bit of this, a little bit of Prophet, and then a middle grade book. Maybe that will be my plan. Plans are always subject to change, of course. Today is pie day, so I made pies yesterday. We ate one already this morning while we had some poetry tea time, which was excellent, and I have another one sitting in the fridge that I'm not sure if we'll get to today or tomorrow, but that's fun. And then we're busy tonight, so I won't have a lot of reading time this evening, but I have some time before then to get some in.
Train ride just to see you, ride for hours just to please you. You don't know how much I need you, 'cause you're my home away from home, away from home, away from being alone. Run away from
Saturday. My kids are just playing outside my door with little things and pretending to fall off of things. So if it constantly sounds like people are falling and doing the Wilhelm scream, it's going on. But they're okay. So yesterday, I read from a bunch of books. I read from Anna Karenina. I read some from The Prophet, or Prophet. I always want to say The Prophet. This book is finally getting interesting. I think we're getting to the actual plot of the story now, like 100 and some pages in, so that's good. I am doing this with my Kindred Spirit of the Month as a buddy read, and so I'm trying to kind of go at her pace. I'm a little farther than she is, so trying to not read too much of this per day. So working on that slowly. I read a few pages in church history yesterday, so I started the Christian Middle Ages, and it was so funny last night. The very first paragraph, it was talking about a relentless spread of the plague. Men, women, and children felt hardly more than a little soreness of the throat. Afterward came the black eruptions and swift death, and my throat started feeling sore last night as I was just before I started reading this. Jared is like almost on week 2 of being sick, like this cold sinus thing and the cough that lasts forever. And so either I am getting that or I have the plague. That was kind of funny. I did not read any more in Mythmakers yesterday, but what I did mostly read is Fighting Words. I read this entire book. It is short. It is super heavy. I will have a full review at the end of the video, but I really struggle with this book because I understand. It's written as a middle grade book. Our main character is 10. She is sexually abused, so is her sister. And it's a heavy topic, and I understand they want it in middle grade for kids who are in the situation to realize they can speak out. But for this just to be out there for other kids to pick up that are unaware of this and innocent to this, I really struggle with, because I don't feel like that should be just sitting in a middle grade shelf. So, full review at the end, but it's good. It's just, I don't know, super heavy, understandably, and I would just be careful with whoever's hands I put this into. It's scary just being on a shelf and anyone can grab it. Okay, so my plans for today then are to read another few chapters of Prophet, and then I would like to read more of Mythmakers because I didn't read any yesterday, and then I want to start Anne of the Island. This is one of the many books I still have left that I need to read by the end of the month. I don't want to read this one quickly. I want to savor my time reading Anne of the Island because I love it, so I want to start it and get going on that because I have 3 books that I have to read in complete, all of the books for a awards thing that I'm doing. So I have 3 books that I can't talk about, so I won't read them this week, that I need to read. I have this that I need to finish. I have this that I need to finish. And I have a book, an ebook that I might start yet this week for a different book club, which I might be pushing that book club out till the end of April, so maybe I don't have to read that one yet, but it just feels like a lot of have to reads, all of which I want to read. It's good, but I just get a little nervous, like, am I gonna have enough time? So today want to read a little bit of a couple different things, and then I would like to finish The Shadow Heir because I have this one 20% read, and I don't like to leave books for too long, otherwise I will forget what's happening. I'll give you a little brief intro into this. So this is considered a companion novel to book 1, which, because we follow the main character from book 1's best friend, and so right at the beginning here she's about to turn 20? I don't remember. It's like the eve of her birthday, and her father and mother, her father made a deal with the Fae that, you know, they would have a child. But he didn't find out what the stipulations were. If he would have waited around a little to ask, he would have found out prior to them getting pregnant that on the eve of this child's 20th birthday, I think it's 20th, whatever year we're at here, she goes to live with the Fae, or else he will die if they like the father will die. So she is getting taken by the Fae. And her best friend went to live with the Fae, married a Fae for various different reasons. So they're going into the same world, but I think very far apart. And there is some kind of catch with the Fae. It sounds like she's probably gonna die pretty soon, but it's a book, so I'm assuming she won't. But she's got some things she has to do, maybe. I'm not really sure. But I really did enjoy book 1, so curious to see how this one plays out. Sorry for all the noise. But yeah, I think I read it like 15-ish pages of Anna Karenina already, I think, or 20-ish. Yesterday, my page count ended up being, I think it was 434 pages. So I'm up to 634 pages in 2 days, which means I have reached half of my goal. So I will probably bump up my goal yet. Today and tomorrow will probably be my heavier reading days because it's the weekend and get to rest a little bit. Depending if I actually get sick, that might change some things too. I might read more or less depending how I'm feeling. I'm not intentionally trying to read books that are quick. It is middle grade March, so I will be reading some middle grade books, which will be quick. And then this Mythmakers is fairly quick in spots when it's the graphic novel sections. But I'm so excited about this. So that will help with my page count. I'm not intentionally trying to read quick books to make a higher page count. I think some of these books like balance it out. This one's got quite a bit of words per page. Yeah, so I don't know how much I'll get done today. My goal was to read at least 200 pages a day, but I'm not actually counting it throughout the day. I'm just like, hopefully I make 200 pages a day. And so far that's working for me, so I'm gonna keep going with that for now. Yeah, I'm gonna start with these 3, read a little bit from each of them, and then focus on Shadow Air for the rest of my reading time. We are going to be doing some family stuff today, maybe a board game, and maybe kind of want to watch the Magic School Bus with the kids. We got the DVD out from the library and it's such a blast from the past, and even my like big kids love it. So I think I'm going to be done talking, losing my voice, and do some reading.
I remember years ago, something missing in my soul, chasing highs yet always feeling low. I remember how you looked, one hello and I was hooked, found the missing piece that made me whole. True love don't come round very often, it's like sunshine after the rain, but you know the moment it happens, everything will be okay. I hope I'm not coming on too strong, but you feel like family to me. Finding you was just like finding home, 'cause you feel like family to me. You're the reason I wake up with a smile and feel enough. I don't know what I would do without you. Every day I want you more. Tell me I'm forever yours. Let me know it as I stand before you. True love don't come round very often, it's like sunshine after the rain, but you know the moment it happens, everything will be okay. I hope I'm not coming
So I didn't 100% intend to read from so many books yesterday. I added in another one. I read a little bit from all of these books and this one, and I'm going to figure out my pages from the day. I don't know it yet. So I've got my starting page and what I ended at. I need to figure that out for each of the books, and then we will see together what the total ends up being. Hopefully it's around 200 pages. I'm not sure because I kind of got sick of reading at one point yesterday. So I'll get this figured out and then we'll add it up. And then what I do for books that are like ebooks is I figure out the percentage, and then I go on Goodreads and find the page count for the physical book. And then I use a percentage calculator online. I could figure out the math myself, but why do that when there's a resource available? And I will figure out how many pages I read. That 18%, how many physical pages does that equal? So I'll figure out that now. So I have all my pages figured out. Now we're gonna punch that in to the calculator here and we will see what it ends up being. Okay, got it all in there. Let's see what it equals. 196, so close to 200 pages. That's so funny. Missed it by 4 pages, but that's okay. That'll add up to, I'll add in, what did I have? 634, I think. So I'm at 830 pages over 3 days. Doing really well. Probably gonna have to bump up my goal.
Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things.
For yesterday being Sunday, I did not read very much. I read a bit from Anna Karenina. I read a chapter of Made for People, and I got up to 85% in the Shadow Heir. I just wasn't feeling very good. The sore throat isn't really getting much worse, but it's not getting better, and I just didn't feel good. But I tallied my numbers this morning, and I read 202 pages. Not on purpose, but I've been very consistent sticking around my goal of about 200 pages a day. Today, I would like to change that. I've read a little bit from Anna Karenina. I need to read more, but I think what I'm gonna do is finish up the Shadow Heir. I was really liking where things were going yesterday. I was just not feeling well, so I went to sleep. But I have 15% left, and I think I can finish that now. And then from there, I'll finish my chapter for Anna Karenina, and I'll check in, say where I'm gonna go from there. Some kids left some crumbs on my bed. Lovely. Yeah, so that's the plan. Going to finish this now. Okay, I did my plan. I finished the Shadow Heir review at the end. My reading plans for the rest of the day are to continue to work on some books that I have already started and probably start another one. Like I said, I read a chapter or two of Anna Karenina already this morning, but I think I'm at like 6 pages read or something. I want to get closer to 20, so I'm gonna continue working on that a bit. I'm just about to start chapter 35 of part 2, so I'll read a few chapters there. Then I am really enjoying Made for People by Justin Whitmel Early. This is Why We Drift into Loneliness and How to Fight for a Life of Friendship. This is so good. I've only read the introduction in chapter 1 and I'm loving it. I'm trying to do about a chapter a day because it's so good. I don't want to cruise through it too much. I want it to like soak in, but I also wouldn't mind letting my daughter and Jared maybe read it before I bring it back to the library. So for that reason, I might read it a little faster. Very much enjoying this. The chapter yesterday was about vulnerability, the art of living without secrets, and the habit of confession. And I don't know where I put my commonplace book right now, but I copied down multiple quotes from this chapter about the difference between, where was it? Let's see if I can find it. Sharing, okay, vulnerability and sharing are the two things. Sharing is what we do to update people on our lives, but vulnerability is what we do to let people into our lives. And then sharing is about what happens to us. Vulnerability is about what happens in us. Sharing takes time, vulnerability takes courage. It may be true that vulnerability cannot happen without sharing, but sharing can certainly happen without vulnerability. To be vulnerable is to use your words to let someone into the mess of your life. So yeah, that was really good. Hopefully gonna read another chapter today, maybe 2, depending on how long it is or how inspired I'm feeling. So there's that. And then I really do want to read more of Myth Makers. I feel bad reading this because it kind of feels like a cheat during a page count reading challenge, but my page count is sitting around like just over 1,000 pages right now already, so I'm definitely gonna hit my goal. I would like to finish this in the next couple of days, so I'm gonna read a portion of it today, and then I have it downstairs, but I also want to read more of The Prophet because now my buddy reader that I'm reading it with is a little farther than me, so I want to do that. And then I have another book I'd like to maybe read the entire thing of today, which sounds like a lot, but it's not. So I got Away out from the library. This is by Megan E. Freeman. The first book, Alone, this is I think a companion novel. Alone is a dystopian, it's a novel in verse, dystopian story. This girl wakes up and like everyone from her town is gone. And I think the same thing happens in this one, but to someone else. I don't know if it's a different town. I'm not really sure, but it's called Away. And I really enjoyed Alone, so I requested that my library get the ebook, and I've got that. And this will be quite a few pages because it's a novel in verse. I don't know how many pages it actually is. And it will also be a quick read because it's a novel in verse. So those are my current plans, and I really want to read another Emma M. Lyon, because if I don't read one in the next couple of days, then I have to wait. Well, I don't have to wait. I just can't read yet another one. And I can't remember when my Kindle Unlimited is running out, but I feel like I'm getting close, and I really want to get those books done before I run out of time. So I probably have too many books planned for the day. I will let you know tomorrow or later today where things are going. I have a pretty chill day for the rest of the day. It's what now, 1:30. Still not feeling very good, trying to take it easy, and what better way to do that than to read a bunch of books?
I met an old man. I said, tell me your story. He took out a notepad and wrote something for me. Then he kept walking on down the road, and I watched him disappear like smoke. And I thought I'd just seen a ghost. Then I looked down at what he wrote. It said, son, when you grow up you'll be fine. I know you've got.
Alright, I spent the morning with the kids at appointments, so I actually got quite a bit of reading done this morning, but first I want to give an update on yesterday's reading. So I read from Anna Karenina, Made for People, Prophet, Myth Makers, Shadow Air, which I talked about a bit, and Away. So I read from 6 different books. I read 242 pages, which brings my total up to 1,274. So I've officially reached my goal. I think I'm gonna have a secondary goal. My throat is still bothering me. A secondary goal of 1,500 pages, I think should work. Yesterday I started Away and read, I think I read 20% of it. I came home with a headache, so now my brain is really fuzzy, and I put on a comfy shirt so that I could be cozy. Yesterday I read 20% of Away, which is kind of like a companion to Alone, except we are rehashing the same event. I've DNF'd the book. Unless I hear people love it, we're rehashing the same event from Alone, but with different characters. And only 2 of the characters, I think, are in verse. One of them is like written like a stage play or like a screenwriting thing, and one of them is wants to be a journalist, so she's writing it as though she's a journalist. So we've got those 2 plus 2 of them are in free verse. And I don't know, because it's the same event over again, and I know that a character from Alone is like going to be stuck there, I'm kind of not interested. So if someone tells me otherwise, I'll finish it, but I decided to quit it. And this morning, all I have read is started Emma M. Lion. I think I'm 35-ish% through. It was a long time sitting around at appointments and loving it, as I have like right from the beginning, just loving Emma. She is so good at being fairly proper for, you know, a young lady in the 1880s, but also just she likes to do scandalous things, but not like completely scandalous, just scandalous for the time. And she always has like good intentions. I just really like her as a character, and thoroughly enjoying the first 30-some% of it. I think I'm gonna read that now for a bit. I took a Tylenol hoping the headache goes away. I want to read some Anna Karenina yet, but I need my brain to be like operating a little better before that. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. The weather is finally warming up today. I don't know if we are in above freezing yet. No, we are still in the negatives here. Hopefully it will get above freezing today or tomorrow and snow will actually start melting again. But yeah, because I have a headache, I'm gonna read, see how long my head will allow me to do so. So I only need just over 200 more pages to get 1,500 pages. And I have today and tomorrow left. So I think that should be pretty easy. I'm curious to see how many pages can I get at this point without just trying to read like the shortest books or graphic novels to hit a really high page count. So yeah, back to some Emma M. Lion.
Oh baby, I love your madness. It's so incredibly beautiful. Oh, you shine like gold, so selfless to all, and wild like an animal. Some would say I'm insane in the right in a way, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know, and give me your freedom. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium, life is so easy.
Okay, today is the last day of the page count reading challenge, and it's just after 1 o'clock. I haven't had any time to read yet today. I have a bunch of stuff planned for the day. Not sure how much reading I'm gonna get in, but yesterday I only read Emma M. Lion, and I managed to finish it thanks to being up in the night for an hour and a half or whatever it was. So I read that entire book in 24 hours. Loved every minute. Oh, so many great things. So that was volume 5. So I have 3 more left. Hopefully we'll finish those soon, but definitely not in March. I have been avoiding books I need to read. I think that book was 249 or 259 pages. I need to officially add that to my page count, but then I think I'm over 1,500 pages. Not sure how many I'm gonna get read today, but here's what I'd like to read today. First of all, Anna Karenina. I didn't read my 15-ish pages yesterday, so I really need to read some today. So I've started part 3, and I'm doing pretty good. My goal is to get to the halfway point of this book by the end of March, so I can read it over March and April. Originally I was thinking maybe it would go into May, but I think not. I think I'm going to read this in March and April. Maybe in May I will take a month off of a long book because it's my birthday month. I kind of just want to have fun, and then I'm going to pick up Gone with the Wind in June. Current plan. So this has about 900 pages, a little bit more, which means I need to hit 450 by the end of the month, and I'm at 280. So I think I'm on track. I think I should be able to do that. Should be relatively easy to hit that. So not feeling too bad about this. I'll just need to make sure I actually read some today and don't let one day of not reading it ruin my trajectory and my, like, I don't know, like the snowball effect. Like, I've started, I don't want it just to like all halt. Now, I really need to read some Anne of the Island. I want to. I don't know why I haven't picked it up, really, other than just kind of like shiny things, you know, other distractions. My plan had been to do a live for this on Tuesday, but honestly, I'm not sure if I'm going to this month. I've just had an emotionally rough month, feeling overwhelmed, not necessarily for any particular reason, and the idea of doing a live right now just it feels like too much. So I don't know, maybe I'll decide to do one at the beginning of April, but as of right now I don't think I'm going to do one. So would like to read some more of this today. I'm switching out. I did tab it, you can barely even see, when I read it through last time. Back then I was using different tabs and I didn't like them sticking out very much. Now I have these tabs that I love so much that have the colors, and I really like them. So as I am going, I'm going to replace those. And it's fun because now I have some previous highlights that I can see, oh yeah, I do still love that part. And then I'm also like adding more things that I'm loving. So just so fun to be reading this again, but need to like spend more time on that. I didn't read any of Made for People yesterday. I had been reading a chapter a day. Maybe I'll do 2 chapters today then. Still enjoying it, for sure. Just totally distracted yesterday. Plus, I had a headache, and it was like the kind of headache where it just like, my brain wasn't really functioning. So reading something fun and light and easy was on the table for yesterday. So also want to read some of that today. And then I was really thinking I would be able to finish Mythmakers during this. Where's my bookmark? How far am I? My bookmark is a love heart, as my 4-year-old calls them. She has cut out so many of these since the week of Valentine's Day. Probably, I would say I have drawn like the half of a heart, and she's probably cut out, no joke, 200. It might even be like a fairly conservative guess. Anyway, that's my bookmark. I'm on page 70 out of, how many does this have? 200-ish. So I probably won't finish it today, but I totally thought I would, which just means I'll just continue this. So those are my plans for the day, I think, reading-wise. Oh, Prophet. I left that one downstairs. Also need to read that because now I'm behind on my Kindred Spirit buddy read. So I'm going to see what I can do for reading today. I have to do a bunch of work stuff first and some other things. I probably will only be able to read in the evening. So not sure what I'll be able to get through, but last day of the challenge. So let's see what I can get done.
Full stop. Can't believe I live in your thoughts. I think about you all the time, morning, evening, and midnight. Such a wonderful delight. Forgo, give up everything that I own. Yeah, I'd give it all up now just to be with you somehow. Unexpected love was found. You're the rose in a garden, and it shows close if I'm honest. You're the leaves in mid-August, and I've come out here to say that I love you. Ooh, ooh, you, ooh, ooh. So slow, hold you in my arms, won't let go. The world around could pass us by, a thunderstorm, a lightning strike, as we hold each other tight.
The page count reading challenge is officially over. It finished yesterday. I did not end things on a super positive, high page count note. I calculated my pages from yesterday. I read 46 pages from a variety of different books. Not very much, not a large amount, definitely not the largest amount. I ended up spending like 2 hours yesterday tackling my 2 inboxes, my like personal one and my Chantel Reads All Day one. They were like an hour each. I'm the kind of person that I check my email, I have it on my phone, I check it, and if there's something very important, I can reply to it right away. But for the most part, I let it build up for like 2 weeks and then bulk tackle the inbox, archive things, do the things I need, because I need a computer to do my emails, because if I'm going to type something up, I'd rather type it up on there. Even some text messages, I just prefer to send via my computer. You know, if I need to download files or fill out forms or all sorts of things, I prefer to do it on my computer. So yeah, I tend to let it build up and then tackle a bunch of it at a time. So I did that yesterday and a few other things. We went shopping, got distracted at HomeSense they always have like pretty book editions. Last time I went, it was a different edition I loved. This time it was like, I think they were called Page Classics. I'd never seen them before. So I thought I would oh yeah, well we have to figure out how many pages this was altogether. So calculator it up, 46 pages plus my total from before was 1,521. So for the week I read 1,567 pages. That's fun. It's over my goal. I enjoy the page count reading challenge. I didn't just try to read as many pages as I possibly could. If that had been my goal, I would have read just middle grade or like just middle grade free verse books or graphic novels. But it's fun to set a page goal, and that makes me try to read more for that week. Usually what happens then afterwards, I don't read as much for the next few days. That's already started yesterday, but it's just a fun challenge for me each month. So if you guys enjoy this kind of thing, I would love for you to join me over on Patreon. We do this each month. Sometimes it's a week, sometimes it's a weekend, sometimes it changes a little bit. And you don't have to set a page count goal. I mean, I should have set my goal to be in the middle of less books, but I didn't, and that's okay with me. So here's what I've got left. Obviously, Anna Karenina, not much to report here. I have about 150 pages left that I want to read this month so I'm like halfway, so that I'm on track to finish this by the end of April. Definitely on track to do that. That shouldn't be too hard. And I'm not hating the book. There are some characters I'm hating. There's some affairs going on and people are just being dumb. Like I said, I am kind of sharing on Fable as I read some chapters, sharing some insights. I will leave that book club link below. But it's an easy read, and there are some characters that are making it worth it, and I have heard that it's worth it, so sticking with that. I did not read very much Anne of the Island. I am going to finish this by the end of the month, so I have quite a bit left to read in the next 11 days. Also, I just put my watch back on today after having not worn it for like 3 months because I keep missing phone calls, so I need it. And now it kind of feels weird to be wearing it again. Yeah, love this book. Don't think I'm doing a live for it. So maybe my next video I'll wrap it up, or the one after. I'm not sure how that's all gonna work, but this is a fun one, and it's like in college, and it's fun. Profit. I need to read more of this. This is probably going to be one of my priority books next, because I am a little behind my Kindred Spirit buddy read, because I am just kind of spread too thin right now. The writing in this, there are some points where I'm like very confused as to what's been going on. I think it's getting better, but the beginning part, there was some chapters and sections where I felt a little confused because of some of the like kind of spiritual warfare-ish stuff, but it's getting better. Made for People, really good so far, at least. Definitely want to finish that. And then The Myth Makers, really loving this. I love the illustrations. I mean, you guys, I shared a bunch of video clips already showing different parts. It's been really cool to read. It took about, was it like 70 or 75 pages or something like that for Lewis and Tolkien to meet. So that's kind of funny. That's like a third of the book, but I think it's gonna be great. I have about half of it left, and I think those are all the books I'm kind of currently reading. My next plan is to work on the awards books. I have 3 full books I need to read before the end of the month, in addition to the other couple that I want to finish. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Next, I'll share my thoughts on the books that I finished, and then I'll come back and wrap it up. Okay, so the first book that I finished is Magnify, which is the first book in the Storm and Spire series by Stephanie Lozinski. This, according to Amazon, is a 5-book series, and they're all on Kindle Unlimited. And because I currently have Kindle Unlimited, I'm thinking about continuing the series in the next few months, trying to finish them. So like I said, I will be live on Charlene's channel. I think it's the last Saturday of the month. I'll have those details in the description. And we'll be talking about this book. So I don't want to say too much right now, but just to give you an idea, we are following a young man, he's 17, named Wes. He is the envoy for this land. His parents were the king and queen, his brother was the prince, but he has a moon scar, which means he's the envoy. He's the person that takes the sacrifices for the land to a mountain, and I don't know why he has to do it. Right at the beginning of the book, I think maybe he has to go 4 times a year. He's on that journey, and the guards that are with him, the 2 guys that are with him, end up getting murdered. It turns out there's like a lot of unrest in the land that's kind of starting. Like things are not acting in their natural way. We also follow a dragon as another one of our characters. I had to message Celestria because the dragon's name is Celestria. So it's spelled just like her name, but with, instead of the T, it's a Y. And Celestria is the one that gifted me this book in our book exchange that we had at Christmas. So I thought that was kind of fun. Yeah, and so Celestria has been reading the writings that are in the dwarven libraries, and she has come across some old writing, which kind of, if what she has come across is true, it means that everything that they've kind of been living is a lie. So the dragons have been suddenly, no one really knows why, I don't think, dying over the last while, and like very quickly dying, and she thinks she's come across the reason why, but then that means like all of their religious beliefs are kind of just based on a lie. And she meets Wes and tells him about this, and that's all I'll say about like what happens in the book right now. Overall thoughts, it took me a little while to get my bearings, as it does in fantasy books. I do feel like there was a few things that could have been expanded a little bit more. I feel like there was a few things that like I'm not sure if I'm supposed to know yet. I feel like maybe I'm supposed to know, and maybe it just wasn't written out in enough detail. But maybe it will come up in the next few books. But our main character, Wes, he I do struggle in books when authors make characters kind of he's not unlikable, but he is very down on himself physically and like always focusing on the negative, which I can understand, but sometimes there needs to be a bit of a balance. He doesn't seem to have a whole lot of positives going for him, so I struggle when I don't care about a character too much. There are some things, there's some growth and there's some things that happen that do make me like him more as the book goes on. But yeah, I think that's all I'm going to say about this, since we're going to have a live talking about, I'm sure, a lot more of the story. Overall, I'm interested enough that I want to see the series through. I'm not sure if I'll get it in the next, I probably only have like a month or so left of my Kindle Unlimited. I got 3 months for free, and I want to finish the Emma M. Lyon series. So I don't know if I'm gonna pick up one of those books yet this week. I mean, you guys will know by this point. I don't know where it's gonna go, but I do want to continue the series. Okay, so I don't have much of my voice left, but I do want to wrap up Fighting Words. So this book by Kimberly Brew Baker Bradley, the lighting is having an issue. Let's go with that. It is very hard, like I said. It is. So we follow this girl named Della. Her real name is Delicious. And then she's 10, and she's got a 16-year-old sister, Suki. Their mother went to jail when Della was like 5-ish. She was cooking meth in a hotel room, and it blew up. And then Suki and Della went to live with this guy named Clifton. I think it was their mother's boyfriend. And he obviously did something to Suki in the years that they were living with him. And they, right at the beginning of the book, or like right before the book, got taken away from him and have moved in with a foster mom. So we hang out with Della while she is processing so much stuff. It is a really heavy book. This is another one, like I mentioned recently, I think 2 weeks ago, that sometimes these author notes would be really good to have at the beginning. Apparently, this is inspired by Kimberly Brubaker Bradley's childhood. The first thing that the author's note says is, the first thing I want you to know is, it happened to me. And so she's not just like trying to write this really hard story just to write a really hard story. I appreciate that. But the contents of this book, for a child who has not been sexually abused, I don't want that in their hands at the age of 10. So I really struggle with that. I think it's written really well. I think it should be marketed as YA though. And then it doesn't even say middle grade, it says children's fiction on my library copy here, or what was a library copy. I just really struggle with that because it's a bit descriptive, and the main character is 10, so you kind of assume you're kind of gearing towards writing for that age. And if a child has been in this situation, I feel like it's really good for them to have a resource and to learn that people need to have your permission to touch you. They shouldn't be just touching you. So I feel very torn on this book. It is very good. Yeah. So conflicting thoughts there, but very well written, very good. I just worry about who might pick it up, but then also want certain people to pick it up. I'm very torn. So I recommend it to adults or people that are older than 10 for the most part. Hopefully my next book will be a little bit lighter and happier, and I could just go for a really light read next. Emma M. Lyon, Volume 5. What can I say that I have not already said with volumes 1 through 4? If you have not started the series yet, and you watch my channel, and you like some of the books I like, start this series. It is so good. It is such a perfect balance of light and funny and heavy and serious and just like life, I feel like. You can be going through a hard time but still find joy in the everyday moments. Yeah, Emma is finding some good friends. She is slowly making her way out of her grief. I just don't know if I could even pick a favorite book out of the series. I love them all. I 100% want to own the physical copies. After I'm done reading what is currently out, I'm going to debate whether I'm waiting to see if, because I've mentioned before, I like the covers for the Kindle books, which is also the covers for the hardcovers. I just don't like the colors. I feel like this is such a, because it's set in the 1800s, it has such a classic feel. Like they should all be in a, I could really see a navy blue or like a dark green with gold foil being like perfect. And the covers right now are so vibrant that I'm kind of like, maybe I just buy the paperbacks because they're cheaper, and then if she ever releases them in a nice edition, maybe like once they're all out, get that. I don't know, but like 100% worth owning for sure. This particular one, I mean, we're like 5 books in. How much can I say? Like, and in some ways nothing happens. Like, we just follow Emma as she goes throughout her days. But in this one, a favor is called in that she needs to do something for, and I had no idea where this was going, and it was perfect. There are a few characters, I mean, I kind of love all the characters. This one kind of tells us that eventually Emma will find a love, and I'm assuming it is one of the guys that is an option. But as of right now, it's not like some books where you're like, oh, she's gonna end up with this guy. Like, there's multiple options. They're all great options. There's different things great about each of them. And right now she's just really good friends with them all. So I'm just so excited to see where it goes. Also, how many books are going to be in this series? Like, I am enjoying it. The problem is that once I'm caught up, I have to wait for more books, and I'm not gonna do well with that. That's gonna be a struggle. So like, how many books is this going to be? As of right now, it has, oh, I can't remember when it started. It has not been a full year yet of her journals. She obviously writes a lot in her journals, a lot more than I do, which is, I mean, maybe her life is just definitely more interesting. Yeah, so I don't have much to say because it is book 5. You can check my other reading wrap-ups for more details if you want, but highly recommend checking it out. And it is on Kindle Unlimited. I'll leave a link below. Sometimes, like, if you haven't had a Kindle Unlimited subscription in a long time, sometimes you can get it for free, or like 99 cents for 3 months, or sometimes it's 99 cents for a month. Like, everyone kind of has their own deal. It's not necessarily like you click this and you will definitely get it free. It's weird how that works, but definitely worth checking it out. I got a free Kindle Unlimited 3-month thing right now, and I definitely would have paid for this, which I will because I'm going to buy the physical books. So please let me know if you've started Emma M. Lyon, and if you're loving the series as much as I am. She's just so great. So thank you for joining me for this page count reading challenge. Well, I tried to read a bunch of pages. I tried to hit my goal. It's a lot of fun. I like doing this every month, so I would love for you guys to join me over on Patreon if you would like to have fun with that as well. And thanks for hanging out with me for another video.